Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. Imagine this. You're running late for school, feeling rushed and tired, when suddenly you see something that makes your heart race. A little girl just like you finds a baby locked inside a car. What could be more shocking than that? Today I'm telling you the real story of Mia, a brave girl whose quick actions saved a life on a busy morning. Stay with me, because what happened next will amaze you. Our story starts on a cool, early morning in a small town. Mia was a kind girl from a humble family who always did her best, even though life was not easy. Like many mornings, she woke up a bit late. Imagine the rush of trying to get dressed, grab her breakfast, and run out the door, all while her heart beat with worry for being late at school. As she stepped out onto the street, Mia noticed something unusual. The quiet morning was broken by the sound of a car engine that seemed out of place. Curious and a bit anxious, she moved closer to see what was happening. There, sitting in the parked car, was a baby. The baby looked very still, almost as if it was sleeping deeply, but something was not right. The car door was locked tight, and the little one was all alone inside. Even though Mia was already running late, her heart told her something was terribly wrong. She remembered from a school lesson that cars can heat up quickly. Even if it was a cool morning outside, the inside of a locked car can become very hot, very fast. With this important piece of knowledge in her mind, Mia knew that the baby was in danger. "I must help," she whispered to herself. And in that moment, despite being late, she chose to save a life over rushing to class. Let's pause here and talk a little bit about why a locked car can be so dangerous for a baby. You see, when a car is closed up, the windows can trap heat. Even on days that start off cool, the sun's rays can heat the inside of the car very quickly. Here's a simple fact. Cars are like little ovens on wheels. Studies show that in just a few minutes, the inside temperature of a parked car can rise to levels that are unsafe for babies and even for grown-ups. This is why it is very important in emergencies to act fast. Mia knew this too well. In her mind, she repeated, "Time is precious. The baby cannot wait." Her anxiety mixed with courage as she looked at the locked door. How could she open it? She thought of options. Could she find the car keys? Should she look for someone nearby to help? Her mind raced with simple, clear questions, even though she was only a few years older than some of you watching today. Mia made a quick decision. Instead of running to school, she ran to a neighbor's house. The neighborhood was small, and everyone knew each other. She found Mr. Daniels, a kind old man who was watering his garden. With wide eyes and trembling hands, Mia explained what she had seen. A baby locked inside a car, and the danger of heat building up. Mr. Daniels was shocked, but without a second thought, he took her hand and they both ran back to the car. I think it's amazing how sometimes even the smallest person can inspire adults to act fast. On the way, Mia shared with Mr. Daniels her worries and the lessons she learned from school about safety. It made the moment feel very real, a mix of education and pure heart. When they reached the car, Mr. Daniels called 911, even as Mia pressed her ear to the window, hoping to hear any sound from inside. Their combined voices filled the quiet street, calling for help. While they waited for the emergency team, Mia explained to Mr. Daniels that she understood something important. Even if she was late for school, saving a baby was far more important. And as she spoke, her courage shone through. Within minutes, the sound of sirens filled the air. The local police and a fire engine arrived on the scene. The emergency workers were impressed by Mia and Mr. Daniels' quick thinking. One of the firefighters explained in a calm, friendly voice, "Thanks to Mia, we knew exactly where to find the baby. A few extra minutes can mean a big difference when it comes to heat inside a car." They carefully pried open the door of the car using special tools. One firefighter mentioned that most modern cars are built to be safe and secure, but sometimes that safety can turn into danger if someone is accidentally locked inside. The tools helped them open the car quickly and safely. With great care, they lifted the baby out into the fresh morning air, where help was waiting. Mia watched as the baby was gently wrapped in a blanket and taken into the arms of the emergency team. She felt a mix of emotions: relief, pride, and even a little bit of worry. The baby's tiny face slowly began to show signs of life as a nurse checked the baby's heartbeat. It was a moment that felt a bit like a scene from a movie, yet it was all real. At that moment, everyone on the street took a deep breath. The shock faded into a warm glow of hope and relief. Mia, who had been so scared, now stood as a symbol of bravery. Even though she was a little girl, her actions reminded everyone that no matter how small you are or how hard life can be, you can still make a big difference. After the rescue, word spread quickly throughout the town. Neighbors, passing drivers, and even the local news came to see the scene. People spoke in hushed, awed tones about the little girl who had saved a life by doing the right thing even when she was running late for school. Parents showed extra concern for their children, and teachers in school talked about how one brave act could inspire an entire community. In interviews with the emergency workers, many said, Mia's courage was not just about saving a baby, it was about the power of acting quickly and kindly. It was clear that this incident had reminded everyone that we all have a role in keeping our community safe, no matter our age. One kind neighbor even joked, "I run for the bus, but Mia runs for lives." This sprinkle of humor lightened the heavy moments and made everyone smile at the absurdity and beauty of life when brave hearts lead the way. I also feel very strongly about this. In our busy lives, we sometimes forget that checking on those around us is always important. We may be rushing to school, work, or our daily chores, but stopping to help, even for a moment, can change lives. Mia's story is a lesson in empathy, in the importance of always being alert to what's happening in our communities, and in the idea that bravery can come from the most unexpected places. The story shows us that knowledge matters too. Mia remembered what she had learned about heat in cars and understood that every minute counted. It makes you think, how many times have we seen something odd and chosen to ignore it because we were too busy? Mia did not ignore the danger. She understood it and acted on it immediately. Now let's take a moment to talk about some of the technical details that made this rescue so important. You might wonder, why is the temperature inside a car so dangerous? Imagine a big clear jar sitting in the sun. The jar heats up quickly because the sunbeams go in and light up the things inside. A car is like that jar, and sometimes the temperature inside can rise much higher than outside. Babies with their small bodies are not able to handle these high temperatures well. That's why experts say that even on a cool day, a locked car can become a deadly trap very quickly. By understanding this, Mia was able to act fast. She remembered some of these lessons from her classes. Even though they might have seemed boring before, they became very important that day. This mix of learning and real-life action makes the story so powerful. It shows us that every piece of knowledge we gain might one day help us or someone we care about. On a personal note, I think this reminds me of times when even a little idea sparked big action. For instance, when I was young, I learned about the importance of kindness or teamwork, and those lessons stuck with me. Mia's ability to recall what she learned and use it in a high-pressure moment is something we can all admire and hope to do ourselves. For anyone watching this, remember, what you learn at school or from life is never wasted. Every bit of knowledge could be the key to solving a problem someday. Mia's story is proof that education and kindness can go hand in hand to bring hope when it is needed most. Now, I know some of you might smile and think, wow, when I'm late for school, the worst thing on my mind is usually a lost pencil or the fear of a heavy backpack. And that's totally normal and even a little funny. But imagine if you saw something far more important, like a little baby in trouble. It might seem like you're in a movie where one moment is all fun and the next, an adventure in heroism. Let's add a little bit of humor. Imagine if Mia had hesitated and thought, oh no, I'm going to miss the bus. And then what? But then later she might say with a big grin, I might be late, but I saved someone's life. My teacher will have to give me a special award. In reality, her heart was brave enough to let her decide that making a difference was far more important than the worry about a few lost minutes. Relatable examples can help us understand bravery in our own lives. Think about a time when you helped a friend or even a pet in trouble. Even small acts of kindness matter. Mia's story tells us that no matter how rushed or small you feel, you have the power to change the world by doing what is right. It is these moments that remind us why we should never be too busy to notice others in need. I believe that every single one of us can take inspiration from this story. You may not face a locked car with a baby, but you might see a friend who is sad or notice someone who needs help carrying their heavy books. Actions, no matter how small, create ripples of kindness, and sometimes those ripples can change a whole town's future. After the emergency team carefully tended to the rescued baby, the community started coming together like never before. The local hospital later confirmed that the baby was doing much better, all thanks to the brave actions taken on that fateful morning. Families in the neighborhood began sharing their own stories of kindness, little acts that added up to create a much safer, warmer place for everyone. The news spread fast. Soon, local newspapers and even television stations covered the story of Mia's courage. Interviews were arranged where Mia was asked simple questions like, how did you feel when you saw the baby? Or, what made you decide to help? Mia answered in a calm voice, saying, I just remembered what I learned in school and knew that I had to do something. I wanted to help because every life is important. This powerful moment sparked discussions not only among families but even among city leaders about how to keep children safe. They talked about putting up information near parking areas of cars and about reminding everyone how dangerous it is for small children to be left inside locked vehicles. What shocked everyone was not just the act itself, but the realization that sometimes ordinary days hide extraordinary moments. Mia's story became a lesson for everyone about the need to be kind, alert, and brave. Let's sum up the incredible lesson of today's story. Mia, a young girl who was having a rough morning because she was late, showed us that every second counts. Her quick thinking, the knowledge from her classes, and her kind heart saved a life. This story tells us that what we learn in school is not just for tests. It can help us make the right choices when it matters the most. It also reminds us that no matter how busy we are, we should never ignore the red flags around us. Whether it's something as scary as a baby in a locked car or a friend who needs some help, being alert and caring can change the world. And while sometimes life feels like a rush, We can always take a moment to help others, even if it means being a little late. I truly believe that every one of us carries a spark of bravery inside. Sometimes life puts that spark to the test, just like it did for Mia. And when we let that spark shine, it not only brightens our path, but also lights the way for others. From this story, the message is clear. Stay alert, learn useful lessons, and always choose kindness over fear. As we come to the end of today's story, think about how one brave choice can change so many lives. Mia showed us that being kind, thoughtful, and brave is much more important than rushing to school on time. Even if you think your actions are small, remember that every bit of kindness is a step toward a better world. Thank you so much for watching this story. If this video touched your heart or made you think about how you can be more helpful every day, please let us know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your own stories of bravery and kindness. Before you go, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more real-life, inspiring stories just like this one. And don't forget to click on the video on the end screen for another amazing story that will keep you thinking and smiling. Remember, every small act of kindness counts. So be brave, be kind, and always help someone in need. Thank you for being here, and I can't wait to share more inspiring stories with you next time. See you soon, and have a wonderful day.